How's it going, you guys? In this video, I decided I'm going to tell the story of how I landed on high ticket sales over all the other types of sales jobs that I could have gotten. If you don't know who I am, my name's Dylan. I run a sales community now and a sales agency, which I sold. We scaled that from 0 to 30 employees in a year, sold 50% ownership back to the partner. It was a hectic business. I'm still running this one, the community. I haven't been closing myself aside from like my own side deals for how long has it been? Like a year and a half, almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. I got into management, and that's how the agency kind of came about. But if you don't know any of my background, then I want to fill you in really fast. So I was like introverted skater. I don't know. I was kind of just looking for like the proven route going into college. Went into construction science, ended up in project management with an internship, but I didn't speak Spanish, so I couldn't really manage I couldn't really manage the projects in South Texas. So then I went into estimating. So I had studied estimating in school, but I didn't know estimating was sales. So anyways, I got an offer to be in the same company as an estimator. I liked the company, so I did it. And then I quickly found out that estimating was sales, or at least the estimates don't sell themselves. And so anyways, I go through that and I do as best I can for a year and a half as an estimator. And in May of 2022, about almost halfway through that year, I quit and I already made like $73,000 on the year. So I was pacing like 180K my second year out of school in roofing sales at like 23 years old, which is really, I mean, especially with the degree that I have, is really kind of unheard of. Okay. Anyway, so I figure out sales is the vehicle, but why I quit roofing, just to keep it again really brief here. I quit roofing because one, it's dangerous. Two, location dependency. I wanted to be able to be like remote or sell to more people outside of just the city. And then not being remote, I had a bunch of drive time. So I would only have like 3 or 4 appointments per day because I was driving everywhere. And I was like, if I could make this much money with driving half the day, how much money can I make like not driving half the day and taking calls instead? Or doing like pipeline stuff and all that. So anyway, so I decide roofing is good. It got me some security. It got me my, some money saved. I made my first 6 figures in roofing sales. And I was like, well, shoot, I'm pretty good at sales. Like what else is out there? So I almost bought a house. I'm glad I didn't buy a house because I needed to keep that money free to give me some cushion to go and try the next thing. So anyways, I'm thinking about the next thing and I'm thinking, like real estate is good. I want to get into real estate. I want to be an investor. I know some realtors make good money, but I wasn't quite sold. Tech sales. I know tech sales is good. It's a career thing. If I could stay in it for 10 years, I'd probably be making $500,000 a year, or more, or I would be making that sooner. So tech sales is good. But one thing about me that I really liked about the high ticket space is kind of like the freedom and the autonomy of making your own schedule and the speed at which this moves. So how fast you can accelerate your income or jump into another team and close deals, and just kind of like the run and gun makeup of what this industry is was really appealing to me. I wouldn't say I have an authority problem, but most of the people that had authority over me, I didn't really agree with them. So I do like kind of like being my own boss. And I know as, in like tech or some of these other sales industries, you have a manager who has a manager who has a manager, and you're just like crushed with KPIs and quotas. So I also saw in the high ticket space, I was on Money Twitter. If you guys are familiar with Money Twitter in like 2017, trying e-com, copywriting, all that stuff, Facebook ads. And I had some success, but it fizzled out because I was in school and I was working full time. I didn't have money or knowledge, but I was kind of just lurking in the shadows for a couple of years. I wasn't posting any content, and I saw these people doing high ticket sales, and I didn't really understand what high ticket sales was. And at the time, 2017, 2018, 2019, I didn't even know what it was, but I also didn't even consider it for myself because sales was like the opposite of what I ever thought I was going to end up in. After I got into roofing sales and I knew that I was like the top rep for the last 12 months and I broke company records, I got a paid trip to Vegas, I was like, I can sell. I just need to find the better vehicle. So for me, it was about optimizing the vehicle, and high ticket sales was the most intriguing to me, this form of like kind of running your own business, being your own boss, having control over your schedule. And then I saw a lot of these guys that would get into high ticket sales and they were young and they were less experienced and they were like posting call recordings or they're like having so much fun with it. And then they were like meeting other people in the space. And I was like, man, like I always wanted to kind of be in the online space and like have control over my schedule and my income and have fun with it. And so that's kind of how I ended up in the high ticket space. Now, what I ended up doing was buying into a program to get into like proximity of jobs. And I ended up stacking a job part time on top of my roofing sales job for a month. In my first month, part time closing, I made just under 5K. And for me, I had living expenses low, and I was like, okay, if I can make like 3K a month, like I know people are making 10, I know people are making 20, I can get there. I just need the runway, which I had some money saved. And so I was like, if I can just make 3, I'm good. I made just under 5 first month part time, and I was like, I'm quitting. So I love roofing sales. There were some things that were not optimal about it, but ultimately I knew that I was in the position now more than ever to play offense to get where I really wanted to be, where I knew I wanted to be, and a better optimal vehicle that would allow me the life that I wanted and the freedom and the flexibility that I wanted. If you can't tell yet, I've said that word a few times, or those words, like the freedom, the flexibility, control of my schedule, control of my income, close my calendar when I want. That is so important to me. And you can get that in other sales jobs, but in those sales jobs, like you do that and your income goes down or you lose priority. So, yeah, that's kind of why I landed on high ticket sales. The space was a lot different then than it is now. It's a lot more competitive now because there's a lot more people in it now, but there's also a lot more opportunity now with Alex Hormozi's School Games, WAP, all these creators trying to monetize their platforms, making programs, high ticket. So I think, if I were to make that same transition in 2025 versus 2022, I would do it again. I would do it again because the first year that I went through closing, I didn't go on to make like $30,000 per month. I've never claimed that. But I did hit like the 10K mark and I sustained like a 6-figure, part-time income for pretty much that first. Well, okay, so I started in May, worked through to 2023. Just before 2023, I started my sales community at like $9 per month. And then I worked through to like the summer of 23. That's when I got into management. And then I managed into like late 23. It was a short stint, but I got tons of experience managing a 10-person team. And that's when I started the sales agency. And that's when we scaled that to 8 figures in client revenue in year one. So you can see how like fast the trajectory is. I don't want to like come out here and throw numbers on how much I made in the sales agency, but I made way more money with all this combined. But the sales agency, I made way more money than I would have made in year 2, year 3 in tech sales or in real estate. Now, I'm still early and, we'll see how things go. But so far it's been awesome. I've been so grateful to have made this transition. And now like we've had so many people do it, make this transition and change their lives. If you go to playlist on my YouTube channel, you go to community member interviews, there's like 45 full-length interviews with people who came in to this industry, used our community, and made some really good stuff happen. So I've been able to, I don't know if you guys can see, move into an awesome spot here in Austin, Texas. I moved cities, moved onto an awesome spot right on the lake outside downtown. I have a new spot we're about to move into, like top floor corner unit, pretty much the nicest apartment in that complex. It let me buy a really fun convertible car and then my dream car later, which is a 911 Turbo S. What else? I've been able to treat my fiance to like a dream engagement, paying for the wedding, no questions. But even when I was just like in, a closing role or I would stack closing roles, I was working like 3, 4, maybe 5 hours a day, making good money, spending time outside in the pool. Like when I had downtime, the roles didn't require me to do like outbound dials. Like I would just kind of sit and wait and get better at closing. And I'd go to the pool, I'd go hang out with my friends, I'd take trips. I was the tannest I ever was at that point because like, I don't know, all my free time now is spent towards like building business. But then I was like, oh, I got, 3 calls today. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to lay at the pool. I'm going to walk with the shirt off and listen to a podcast. And that was freaking awesome, man. Like I had never experienced the income to work ratio that I was in 2022. So for those of you guys who do have sales experience and you're looking into this, just know that, you know, if you're looking for downside protection, that was not one of the reasons I got into high ticket sales. I got into high ticket sales because I knew that the upside was there. I had the downside protection. I had years of living expenses saved. So that was my downside protection. I knew I could mess that up and I knew I could go back to roofing sales, either to the company I was working for or a competitor in a heartbeat. That gave me the confidence to optimize for upside. If you're looking for downside protection, one, maybe sales just isn't for you. But two, like I would go somewhere where you might have base pay, benefits, that kind of thing. Not to say you can't, get downside protection in the high ticket space, but this is definitely more suitable for people who are looking to just maximize what's in front of them. So if you already have sales experience and good results, it shouldn't be too difficult for you to land something quality. That's what we work with people on. But if you don't have sales experience, it's still possible. You just have to start a little bit lower. So don't do it because of downside protection. I would absolutely recommend against that. Also, if you have really high living expenses and a lot of pressure, I'm not saying it won't work. I'm not saying you can't figure it out, but there's probably other sales roles or just types of roles, jobs in general, that will give you more security. I did it because I wanted to be a laptop money guy. I wanted to move where I wanted to. I wanted to have the freedom to make my own schedule. I wanted the fast earning potential. I saw these guys online having fun with it and living my dream life. I wanted to go to the pool at 12 p.m. and the gym at 10 a.m. And man, it was great. And it still is great. I'm, in a different phase now, but that's kind of the story of why I chose high ticket sales. These other sales roles, man, they're good opportunities, but I've always kind of been entrepreneurial business owner minded, and this was the stepping stone that was closest in that direction. I felt, because if my intention wasn't to climb the corporate ladder and be in tech for 10 years, be in real estate for 10 years, be in insurance for 10 years. And it was more of a stepping stone to then go on and make my own business, but cash flow heavy in the short term. I would choose high ticket sales again. I don't regret it one bit. The people I've met, it's been amazing. Business owners in the same industry or in different industries, the people I've been able to work with, I've been able to work with now some of the biggest influencers or creators in the world, to be honest with you. And I've been able to grow on social media, which is awesome. And I'd highly recommend documenting something on social media if you break into this space. So, yeah, guys, I mean, this is an industry where whoever puts the most effort gets what they want. It's not who's been here the longest, who's buddied up with the sales manager, who worked at this company before. It's you can really grind your way to a high level in a short amount of time and then use that to leverage up or to start your own business, all while creating your own schedule. I mean, dude, my life would be way different if I never got into this. So that's kind of the story right there. If you're looking to play offense, high ticket sales is for you. If you're looking to play defense, high ticket sales, probably not for you. And that's completely okay. Commission only sales, any type of commission only sales is not for you if you're trying to play defense. Solar, pest control, insurance, you should not do those. High ticket is just a remote version that you're selling different products. So that's the story, you guys. If you're interested in, given that this is commission only, making sure that your efforts are recognized and you get the role that you're hoping you get, we have a sales community, been running it for almost 3 years now. And the link is down below. We work with people we basically work with you all the way up from where you're at right now to getting into a quality role that meets your expectations. We set expectations hard on the front. Talk to my man, Diego. I promise he's not going to hard close you unless you need to be hard closed. No, I'm just joking. But we're really big on expectation setting. We're not here to sell a dream. We're here to sell you the vehicle to get where you want to be faster than you would get there by yourself, while avoiding the downsides that you could potentially face yourself, which is bad offers, jumping at stuff that you shouldn't, not having stuff in front of you and not ever gaining traction because you don't want to send 100 outbound Instagram messages per day. That's stupid. Don't do that. If your time is worth anything right now, get surrounded in a network, ideally paid, because free is just so low quality. But get in a paid one. It doesn't have to be mine. It could be someone else's. It made the difference. I told you, I spent money. I spent a high ticket price point to get into a network when I started, to get access to jobs. That was it. And that's, for me, sales training is not the most important thing. Knowing everything that I know, I've worked with hundreds of people now. It is proximity to good jobs and being the best candidate. Sales training is important once you're in the job. Sales training doesn't get you hired. So that's why we focus on what we focus on. If you guys are looking for me to work with you, like one-on-one, small group setting, to go through your resume, review your Loom videos, all that, I still do that in my sales community. I have a team, they help, but I'm in talks with every single person in that community on a weekly basis at minimum. So you guys, if you're tired of that sales job, you know you want more freedom, you know you can make more money, you know you could have a more flexible schedule, or you could be remote. You know that maybe you've been watching my channel for a little bit and you just know that you could do this, but you've been afraid to make the leap into the industry, or even into a community like the one that I have. If not now, then when? That was what pushed me over the edge. If not now, then when? You think about it now, the longer you wait, the more the bills get higher. Opportunity for debt. You start a family, then you have bigger responsibility. You upgrade your car, or you get, promoted at work. Like, it only gets harder to make a move like this, especially if you're a younger guy. And if you've been craving that online money, that freedom, that autonomy for a while now, I would encourage you to make the jump into high ticket sales. We've built something that makes it as easy as it can be. We give you all the support that you need and more. And, this is, just think about it. It's way easier when you're surrounded with people that have also made the jump, that have been in your shoes and are now earning the money that you want to earn. This is no like little kid biz op thing where we sell a dream and all the people in our network are stupid and not valuable, not a valuable network. We have like former sales professionals. A lot of the people in the community are in early, mid, late 20s, 30s, but it's not cheap. Like, it's a high ticket community, and that kind of really filters out who comes in and who doesn't. So guys, my best recommendation, if you do want to get into this, is get into a network, whether it's free or paid, but free usually sucks, and just minimize downside. Like, if you're going to play the offensive in this industry with high risk is high reward, you need to minimize the downside as much as possible while shooting for the upside. So in the flip side of that, if you're going on the defensive and you're going into something that's like cushy base benefits, security, not that much commission, but not that much earning, it's easier to get that because there's just a lot more of that. If you're going for something that is like truly the opportunity to change the trajectory of your life, there are going to be downsides, and having help to make that faster, make that transition more seamless is everything. Last thing I'll say before I wrap up this video, I had a call with someone about my consulting offer, the one-on-one offer that I've done for people who are kind of looking for that, like, what's the next thing? Is it an agency, sales management, whatever? And this guy, I think he's 22, might be 23 now. He's been in my community since almost the beginning, and he's been grandfathered in since September. It's May now. Since September, again, he's 23 years old. He's been making at minimum 15K per month. Most of them like 20K, or not most of them, but like a good amount of them over 20K per month closing. This guy is not special. I think he's like in Maryland. I've met him in person, I think twice now, and he's 23. Like, he's a young guy. He started when he was like 21. He did not, from what I know, didn't have any kind of crazy sales background. He's not like some Jeremy Minor level, like just naturally crazy, insane salesperson. He's a guy who came in and just like spoke to people, applied to jobs, stayed in contact with me, and now he's considering quitting his job because he might only make 10K this month. I don't know what situation you're in, but if only making 10K in a month sounds like a problem that you want to have, high ticket sales can be that for you if you just take the jump. So you guys, if you watch this all the way, I appreciate it. Let me know in the comments what else you would like to see from me on this channel. If you want more storytelling, if you want more how-tos, if you want more just documentation of building businesses, feel free to comment down below. As always, like the video, comment on the video, subscribe, turn the notifications on. And, if you're ready for the jump into high ticket sales, go down, book a call with the serial sales community. You will talk to my boy, Diego, who is someone who came in just like you, did $10,000 commission his first month after working at the bank. He's working at JP Morgan Chase in California, made $10,000 month one, moved to Austin, Texas. He's been in a lot of the videos, but the reason why he's the guy who takes the calls now is because he had like the dream transition, working at a bank, not even selling, to making 10,000 month one, and then going on to make, I think he's made upwards of like 15 now, and moved up into closing. And yeah, I mean, go to the community member interview playlist, see all those like 45 or so interviews. He has one of them in there. Also, if you book a call with us, that'll probably be sent to you at some point. So, guys, make the jump. If not now, then when? Play offense. If you really want to get what you deserve out of life, you're not going to get that by playing defense. It only gets harder. Thank you for watching this video. Go book a call. See ya.